Not every woman who says "I love you" actually deserves your love. Sometimes the biggest danger in your life isn't the world outside. It's the person you've let inside your heart. Welcome back to Behavior Insight. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what I'm about to share could save you years of pain and regret. Today, I'll tell you the truth most men don't want to face. If your woman does these 5 things, you need to walk away. Not tomorrow, not next month, now. Let's get into it. 1. She gaslights. You ever been in that spot where you know something happened, you saw it with your own eyes, you felt it in your bones, but somehow, after the argument, you're left wondering if you just imagined the whole thing? That, my friend, is gaslighting. And if your woman does this, it's not just a red flag, it's a blaring siren telling you to leave. Gaslighting is a trick, plain and simple. She takes the truth, bends it, twists it, until you're left holding a version of events that doesn't even feel like your own. You tell her, "I saw you texting that guy," and she shoots back, "What guy? You're paranoid." You bring up something she said last week, and she says, "I never said that. You must have misunderstood." Over and over, she chips away at your confidence, until one day you don't even trust your own memory anymore. Now here's the cruel part. It doesn't start big, it begins small. A little denial here, a little "you're overreacting" there. And because you care about her, because you want to believe she's not lying, you let it slide. You tell yourself you're just being sensitive. You swallow your doubts. But that's how the trap works. By the time you notice the pattern, you're already questioning your own sanity. A woman who loves you should be a mirror that reflects back your best self. She should help you see clearly, even when life gets messy. But a woman who gaslights you, she clouds your vision. She wants control, not connection. She wants power, not partnership. And the longer you stay, the more of yourself you lose. Think about this through a Stoic lens. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Gaslighting is the opposite of truth. It's deliberate distortion. And if you let someone control your perception of reality, you're surrendering the only thing you truly own, your mind. Let me tell you, no relationship is worth that cost. Because once she gets you doubting your own memory, your own feelings, she can make you accept anything. She can cheat and tell you you're imagining it. She can disrespect you and say you're too sensitive. She can hurt you and convince you that you're the problem. That's not love. That's psychological warfare. The strongest men I've met are the ones who protect their inner clarity. They know their truth, they stand on it, and they refuse to let anyone rewrite it. That's what you need to do here. Don't argue endlessly. Don't try to prove yourself right. If she's gaslighting you, she's already shown you what kind of partner she is. Believe her actions, not her excuses. Walking away doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. Because the reality is, staying will only hollow you out. It will break your spirit in ways you don't even notice until it's too late. But leaving, that's reclaiming your mind, your peace, your self-respect. If she's gaslighting you, don't second-guess it. Don't wait for more proof. Don't hope she'll change. Just walk. Your sanity is not up for negotiation. 2. She doesn't respect your boundaries. Boundaries aren't optional. They aren't some random rules you throw out just to control someone. Boundaries are the lines that protect your peace, your dignity, your mental health. And when a woman constantly ignores them, she's telling you something loud and clear: she doesn't respect you. Let me paint the picture. You tell her, "I need some space tonight. I've got work on my mind." Instead of saying, "I understand," she pouts, throws a fit, accuses you of not loving her enough. You tell her you're not comfortable with her texting her ex, and she laughs in your face like you're insecure. You set a line, she crosses it, and when you call her out, she makes you feel like the unreasonable one. At first, it feels small. Maybe you brush it off, thinking, that's just her personality. She's fiery. She's testing me. But let me tell you the truth. If she's testing you, it's not a game you should play. Because the more you allow her to cross your boundaries, the weaker you'll feel. You'll start letting go of little things just to avoid conflict. And before you know it, you won't even recognize yourself anymore. A woman who doesn't respect your boundaries isn't a partner. She's a taker. She's draining your energy, your focus, and your peace for her own comfort. And the most dangerous part, you'll start believing that maybe you don't deserve those boundaries at all. That's how men get trapped in toxic relationships, by convincing themselves their needs don't matter. Now, Stoicism teaches us something powerful here. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Boundaries are the way you master yourself in relationships. They're how you make sure you're not swallowed whole by another person's demands. A Stoic man doesn't set boundaries to punish his woman. He sets them because he values himself enough to demand respect. Here's what a healthy woman does when she loves you. She might not always agree with your boundaries, but she'll honor them. She'll see them as a reflection of your self-respect. But a toxic woman, she'll treat your boundaries like obstacles in her way. She'll ignore them, cross them, push against them, because she doesn't see you as someone worth respecting. She sees you as someone she can control. Think about it. If every time you say no, she hears, "Try harder to break me," what does that tell you about the future of that relationship? You're not building a life together. You're stuck in a constant tug of war where your peace is the prize. And guess what? You'll always lose. And don't fall for the trap of thinking, if I just explain it better, if I'm more patient, she'll understand. No, respect isn't taught, it's chosen. If she values you, she'll respect your lines without needing endless explanations. If she doesn't, no amount of words will fix it. So here's the Stoic truth. A woman who won't honor your boundaries doesn't deserve access to you. Because a man who sacrifices his boundaries for love will eventually sacrifice his soul. And that's a price no one should pay. If she doesn't respect your boundaries, it's time to draw one final line. The line that says, "I'm done. Walk away." Because a boundary ignored once will be ignored again. And love without respect isn't love at all. 3. She always plays the victim. There's nothing more exhausting than a person who never takes responsibility. And when your woman always plays the victim, you're not in a relationship. You're in a blame game you'll never win. It starts small. She forgets to call you back, and somehow it's your fault for not reminding her. She snaps at you, and suddenly you're the reason she's stressed. She lies, but she insists she only did it because you made her feel insecure. Over time, every issue, every fight, every mistake somehow points back at you. Think about how heavy that feels. You carry the blame for both your mistakes and hers. You apologize just to keep the peace, even when you did nothing wrong. Slowly, you stop speaking up. You stop defending yourself. You start believing maybe she's right, maybe you are the problem. That's not love. That's manipulation. Playing the victim is her armor. It protects her from ever being accountable. And worse, it turns you into the villain in your own story. No matter how hard you try, you'll never be enough for her, because the script is always written to make her innocent. This isn't just unfair, it's destructive, because love without accountability can't grow. A real partnership requires two people who own their actions, admit their flaws, and work on them. If she refuses to do that, then what you have isn't a relationship. It's a cycle of blame. Now let's bring in Stoic wisdom. Seneca said, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." But when you're with a woman who constantly plays the victim, your mind becomes conquered by guilt. You stop focusing on your goals, your peace, your growth, because you're too busy fixing problems she created. That's not strength. That's slavery. And here's the truth. A woman who always paints herself as the victim is really saying, "I will never change." Because if she can convince you that you're the source of all issues, why would she ever take a hard look at herself? She won't. She'll stay the same, while you crumble under the weight of her blame. Don't ignore this red flag. Don't convince yourself that if you just love her harder, she'll stop. She won't. This is a pattern, not a mistake. And if you stay, you'll keep losing pieces of yourself until there's nothing left to give. A Stoic man refuses to carry blame that doesn't belong to him. He knows his faults, owns them, but doesn't accept false guilt. If she can't admit her part in the chaos, she's not a partner, she's a burden. So ask yourself this. Do you want to spend your life with someone who grows with you or someone who drains you? If she's always the victim, you already know the answer. The strongest move is to walk away before her blame becomes your belief. 4. She disrespects your time, the one thing you'll never get back. And yet, some women treat it like it's disposable. If your woman constantly disrespects your time, that's not just careless. It's a sign she doesn't value you. Picture this. You plan a date, rearrange your schedule, show up excited, and she cancels last minute with a weak excuse. Or she keeps you waiting hours because something came up. But you know deep down it's just her being careless. Or maybe she fills her days with everything and everyone else, then tosses you scraps of her time like you're an afterthought. At first, you shrug it off. You tell yourself she's busy, she's stressed, she didn't mean it. But after a while, the pattern becomes clear. Her time matters, yours doesn't. She expects you to be available whenever she wants, but when you need her, suddenly she's too busy. Here's the hard truth. When someone values you, they respect your time. It's one of the simplest ways love shows itself. Respect for your minutes means respect for your life. Disrespect for your time is disrespect for you. Now think about Stoicism here. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not act as if you had 10,000 years to live. Death hangs over you. Time is finite. Every wasted hour is gone forever." And if she wastes your time without care, she's not just being rude. She's robbing you of something priceless. And don't fall into the trap of thinking, if I stay patient, she'll start valuing me. No. Respect isn't begged for, it's shown naturally. If she doesn't respect your time now, she never will. And what starts as late arrivals and broken plans will eventually grow into years of being sidelined, ignored, and treated as second best. A healthy relationship is built on reciprocity. If you prioritize her, she should prioritize you. If you show up for her, she should show up for you. Anything less is imbalance, and imbalance leads to resentment. So here's the Stoic move. Protect your time like it's gold. Because it is. Don't give it freely to someone who treats it carelessly. Don't let her convince you that you're overreacting for wanting respect. You're not. You're demanding the bare minimum. If she keeps wasting your time, don't waste more waiting for her to change. Walk away, because one day you'll look back and realize you didn't lose her. You lost years of your life to someone who didn't care enough to show up. 5. She stops trying. In the beginning, everything feels electric. She puts in effort. She looks good for you. She listens. She surprises you with small acts of care. But then something shifts. The effort fades. She no longer bothers. And you find yourself in a relationship where it feels like you're the only one trying. This is one of the most painful truths to face, because you remember how good it used to be, and you keep hoping it'll come back. You excuse her lack of effort, telling yourself she's tired, busy, stressed. But deep down, you know what's happening. She stopped valuing you. Relationships aren't built on grand gestures. They're built on consistent effort. Effort to listen, to care, to show appreciation. When that effort disappears, love starts to die. And if she no longer tries, she's telling you without words, I don't need to earn you anymore. A Stoic man doesn't beg for effort. He knows his worth. Epictetus said, how long will you wait before you demand the best for yourself? If she stopped trying, why are you still giving her your best? That imbalance will destroy your spirit. And here's the reality. Effort is a choice. Nobody forgets to care. Nobody accidentally stops trying. She chose to give less because she believes you'll accept less. And the more you accept, the less she'll give. It's a downward spiral that ends with you drained and her indifferent. Now some men convince themselves they can revive her effort. They buy gifts, shower her with attention, bend over backwards. But here's the truth. You can't force effort. It has to come from genuine desire. And if she's checked out, nothing you do will check her back in. Ask yourself this. Why stay in a relationship where your love is taken for granted? Where you feel more like a background character than a partner? If she's not showing effort now, imagine what the future looks like. Marriage, kids, years together? It won't magically get better, it'll only get worse. The Stoic path is clear. Don't cling to what no longer grows you. If she's stopped trying, accept the truth. Walk away. Because staying with someone who no longer values you doesn't keep love alive. It kills your self-worth. You deserve consistency. You deserve someone who tries, not just at the start, but always. And if she's stopped, then it's time for you to stop too. Listen carefully. If your woman gaslights you, ignores your boundaries, plays the victim, disrespects your time, or stops trying, that's not love. That's a slow poison. And the longer you stay, the more it eats away at your peace, your self-worth, and your future. A Stoic man doesn't beg for respect. He doesn't chase what drains him. He protects his peace like treasure because he knows it's the one thing he can't afford to lose. So if you see these signs, stop making excuses. Stop waiting for change. Stop giving your best to someone who's already shown you she doesn't deserve it. Walk away with your head high, because leaving isn't weakness, it's wisdom. And if you want more truth like this, subscribe to Behavior Insight right now. Hit that like button, share this with a brother who needs to hear it, and drop a comment below, my peace comes first. Because in the end, that's the Stoic way. Protect your mind, protect your heart, protect your time.